Good morning, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Khushbu. Good evening, everyone. So I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Amit. Okay, so welcome to the session. And in the last session, we have talked about certain topics like unmanned air vehicles. We have also talked about a squad as well as other topics. We have seen about El Nino, La Nina also. So these were the topics which we have discussed in the last session. Now in today's session, the topics which we are going to discuss, the first one topic is about Naxalism in India. The first topic which we are going to discuss today is Naxalism in India. And like recently there was this one operation by the security forces of India which led to killing of around 30 of the Maoists. So in that context, we are going to talk a little bit about Naxalism in India. The second thing which we are going to discuss is about multilateralism in India. Like not multilateralism in India, multilateralism in global context. That what are the challenges with respect to multilateralism right now. The third topic which we are going to discuss today is about tuberculosis and especially with respect to women in India. So we are going to discuss this part, that how the tuberculosis is impacting women. And then after this portion, we are also going to talk about the denotified tribes in India. We are going to see that what is the issue with them. There is this one article how they are continuously getting the discrimination by police forces or by administration. So in that context, we will talk about the denotified tribes in India. Okay. Revision part of a study always gets threatened. What to do for that? See, like why you are not able to complete the revision, means what is the reason behind it? Tell me about this part. Like what is the main challenge which you get in case of revision? Where do you lack? Like if we talk about current affairs also, I think all of you, those who are attending the sessions, you are attending the sessions for 5 days. You have 2 days in the week when you can revise the current affairs in the same timing from 5 to 6 p.m. on even on Saturday and Sunday. If you are revising the topic, that will be more than sufficient. In 1 week, you are getting around 20 topics. In month, you are getting 80 topics. So if you are just revising that portion also, both your prelims as well as mains preparation for current affairs will be very much smooth. So where is the problem? Where is the problem in revision? It feels like I have studied it and I know the things, but that is one thing. Like if you are reading the same topic, you may feel that you know about it. So for that also, I have given you this one suggestion. If you think that you know about certain topic, try to write about it. Try to write about this week also, next week also. Like last day we have discussed about one thing called as squad. Last day we have discussed about this one group which was called as a squad. So can you all recall this right now, that who were all part of this squad grouping? Last day we have discussed this one topic, that a squad was there, India was invited. So can you tell me who all countries are part of this squad maritime exercises? Can you tell me that? Can you tell me about this? Which all countries are part of this squad? Which all countries are part of this group called a squad? Last day we have discussed this topic. India, Philippines, Japan, US, Australia. Okay, fine. Now, if everyone who is attending the session right now, if these names are on your tips, then you have gone through the topic, you have memorized it. just try to do the same thing, like make a list of the topic. Germany, no, Germany is not there. Germany is not part of it. Australia is there, US is there, Japan is there, not Germany. Okay. So what we see that, like suppose there is any topic, if there is any topic, write like make a list of the topics which you are reading in 1 month. Make a list of the topic which you are reading in 1 month, and after this 1 month, try to see, or after 1 week also, try to see how many topics you are able to recall. So start making the index of it and try to write it. And if there are certain topics which you are not able to recall, then just go and revise that topic. So this one part is very much important, making the index of the topic. Making the index of the topic. So do this one part, like just to give you one idea. Like today we are having this one topic. Today we are having this last session of this week. Today is Friday, so we are having the last session of this week. So after today's session, I will request some of you do one thing. We have discussed 20 topics approximately in this week. So try to make a sequence of them. Try to write all the mains topic which we have discussed, and try to write all the prelims topic which we have discussed. Mention that in the comment box that okay, these are the 20 topics which we have discussed in this week. And after that, just try to see that how many topics you are able to recall. If you are able to recall that, then your work is done. So try to just go through the topic once, try to write them by yourself. And if you do that, you will be able to recall those things. Okay. So do that for me after the session. Make a list of the 20 topics which we have discussed and write it there in the comment box. Okay. Or you can divide among yourself that one is writing of Monday, one is writing of Tuesday. Anyway, whatever is suitable for you. Some of you may write of Monday, some of you can write that these topics we have discussed on Tuesday. And then from there you can have this idea that okay, I memorize 4 of these topics or 5 of these topics or 20 of 20 topics. Okay. So this is how make the index of the topic every week, and at the end of the month try to calculate this part, how much you are prepared per month. If you are taking these steps on weekly basis and regular basis, at the end of December you won't have to revise and recall all the current affairs once again. You won't have to give that extra effort. Even in this 1 hour, this 1 hour of dedication for current affairs will more than sufficient. It will be more than sufficient for your exam. Now, let's see, we have seen the topic. Now, there is one thing which there is one information for you. We have this All India Open Mock Test, which is going to be conducted in online and offline mode, and it is going to be bilingual. So this mock test is going to be there on 20th of April and 11th of May. So this mock test is going to be organized on 20th of April and 11th of May. And in offline centers, if we talk about, it is going to be conducted in Delhi, Prayagraj and Dehradun. So in Delhi, you have 2 centers, Wazirabad and Karol Bagh. In Prayagraj, you have the 1 center in Civil Lines, and also it is going to be there in Dehradun. Okay. Now, this is also online, so you can just visit the website of Khan Global Studies, and from there you can register for this test. All India mock test, 2 dates are there, 20th April and 11th May. Okay. So this is one information for you about this All India Open Mock Test. Okay. Now, before we go into other things, let's discuss some of the questions on the basis of previous topics. So first one is here. With reference to El Nino and La Nina, consider the following statement. El Nino is associated with warmer than usual sea surface temperature in Central and Eastern Pacific Ocean. La Nina strengthens the Indian monsoon and increases rainfall. First statement is saying that El Nino is associated with warmer than usual sea surface temperature in the Central and Eastern Pacific Ocean. This is the first question. What will be the correct answer here? Okay, one answer is B, one answer is C. El Nino is associated with so this will be like, I think everyone is, some of the answers are option B. Why? It is there, the warmer sea surface temperature in the central and eastern Pacific Ocean. So this is correct. El Nino is associated with warmer than usual sea surface temperature in the central and eastern Pacific Ocean. So this part is correct here. Yeah. Second is La Nina strengthened the Indian monsoon and increasing rainfall. So both statements are correct here. C option will be correct. Yeah. So here the answer is option number C. With reference to Indian Ocean dipole, sometimes mentioned in the news while forecasting Indian monsoon, which of the statement are correct? IOD phenomena is characterized by a difference in sea surface temperature between tropical Western Indian Ocean and tropical Eastern Pacific Ocean. An IOD phenomena can influence an El Nino impact on the monsoon. So this is a previous year question with respect to Indian Ocean dipole also. So here the first one is saying IOD phenomena is characterized by a difference in sea surface temperature between the tropical Western Indian Ocean and tropical Eastern Pacific Ocean. So what will be correct? Question number 2. So here again, I think this part is clear. First, if we look at it is not tropical Eastern Pacific, it will be Indian Ocean. It will be about Western Indian Ocean and Eastern Indian Ocean. So there is a difference in the temperature between Indian Ocean, Western Indian Ocean and Eastern Indian Ocean. So that is what we call as IOD. So it is written Pacific Ocean, hence it is incorrect. And IOD can influence an El Nino impact on the monsoon. Now give me the answer of one question. If there is a positive IOD, IOD, so rainfall will be high or low? If there is a positive IOD, then rainfall is going to be higher in India, or is it going to be lower in India? If suppose that there is a positive IOD, positive Indian Ocean dipole, so will there be higher rainfall in India or lower rainfall in India? This is one question. If there is IOD, positive IOD, this is positive IOD. So will there be higher rainfall in India or lower rainfall in India? Okay, 3 answers is high. Remember one thing, positive is positive for India. So positive Indian Ocean dipole is positive for India also. Hence, we are going to have higher rainfall in India in case of positive IOD. Now we have the third question here. Consider the following pairs: Paracel Islands, South China Sea; Natuna Island, Pacific Ocean; New Caledonia, South China Sea. So how many of the above pairs are correctly matched? There are 3 islands. One is Paracel Islands, South China Sea; Natuna Island, Pacific Ocean; and New Caledonia, South China Sea. So how many of them are correctly matched? Tell me about this. How many of them are correctly matched? Okay, one answer from Harendra as option B. Sachin is saying option A. Okay. A option, B option. Disha is also saying option A. Sonu is also saying option A. Now see, if we look at this, I think you know about this one, Natuna Island. We have seen it is a disputed island between Indonesia and China. It is part of a disputed island between Indonesia and China, and this is in part of South China Sea. The New Caledonia, it is basically a French overseas territory. This is a French overseas territory, and this one is located in Pacific Ocean. This one is located in Pacific Ocean, just near this Australian coast. Okay, so this third option is incorrect, second is incorrect, first one is correct. Paracel Islands is there in South China Sea. So here the answer is going to be only one. So this New Caledonia is like located there in Pacific Ocean. Some of you may be having map in front of you while you are solving the questions. If you are sitting on your study table, then the map, world map may be in front of you. So don't take the help of that. Take the help of your memory only. Okay. While you are solving the questions, if map is in front of you, don't see at that. Okay. Now, coming to this coming to the topic today, the first topic is about Naxalism in India. Okay. So now what we see that 30 Maoists, they have been shot dead in Pir Bastar, in the Bastar encounters. Okay. So what we are going to see, can you please question number 1 once again. Question number 1 is, El Nino is associated with warmer than usual sea surface temperature in central and eastern Pacific Ocean. Means towards the coast of towards the coast of South America and the central part, there is higher than usual temperature. Towards the Australian coast, there is lower sea surface temperature. But in El Nino, you have seen that in the eastern part near this South America, there is higher temperature. On our side, towards the Australia, there is lower temperature. So that is what is written here, that El Nino is associated with warmer than usual sea surface temperature in the central and eastern Pacific Ocean. Okay. So that is what is written here. Okay. Clear? Classes daily chalti. Anil, classes are daily from Monday to Friday. Classes are conducted daily. Okay. Now coming to our topic, Naxalism in India, 30 Maoists shot dead in Twin Bastar encounter. So what we are going to see? We are going to see the timeline of Naxalism in India, that from when it started and how it was going on. Okay. So see, if we talk about the beginning of Naxalism in India, if we talk about its beginning, so it started from 1940s. This was the time when Second World War was going on, and there was rise of communism in India. There is rise of communism in India. But see, in 1940, communism did not get that much attention in India. Okay. It didn't get that much attention in India. There was although Telangana rebellion. Okay. There was rebellion against the landlords and feudal lords, etc. That was there in Telangana in 1946 to 1951. But there was no major uprising in the 1940s. When India got independent, there was a lot of aspiration among the people. People thought that when we are going into a democratic country, when we are having our own constitution and everything, we are going to get a number of freedom. We are going to get the economic and political empowerment and each and everything. So people entered into a country with a lot of aspiration. But after 15-16 years and after the failure of land reforms and multiple things, and even when India was going through a worst crisis of food, or food security, in 1967, there was uprising in Naxalbari. Okay. So there was this Naxalbari event in 1967. There was this Naxalbari uprising in 1967. When we see that in modern India, that was the beginning of Naxalism in India. It was led by Charu Mazumdar. Okay. We see that it was led by Charu Mazumdar. Okay. So from there, we see the beginning of Naxalism in India. And after this, in 1969, what we see that in 1969, they even started a front. In communism, there is a philosophy. Some of you may be reading this political science and international relations. You may have read about this philosophy that there is a war of movement, there is a war of action. Okay. So in that, war of movement and war of peace or something is there. I'm just forgetting the name. Okay. So there is this one part that they have also created a front, means forward looking front or a political party, which was in form of Communist Party of India, Marxist Leninist. Okay. CPI-ML. It was made as a political party in India, CPI-ML. So they even founded a Communist Party of India, Marxist Leninist, which was called CPI-ML. Okay. Now, in 1971-72, just within 4 to 5 years, what we see that there was massive police crackdown, and Charu Mazumdar, who was even the leader of the Naxalbari uprising, he was arrested and he died in custody in 1972. Okay. So during this time, massive crackdown by police. This was the phase when India was also engaged with Bangladesh. In 1971, there was liberation of Bangladesh also. So this was the time when there was huge, massive crackdown by the police on Naxals. Okay. Then what we see that in 1980, we saw that there was formation of People's War Group that was more rebellious, more attacking. People's War Group that was formed in 1980. Okay. And like by 1990, now the Naxalism started to grow throughout the country. By 1990, what we see that Naxalism started spreading to different parts of the country. It reached Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Bihar, and many other states. So it reached Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Jharkhand. Then Jharkhand was part of Bihar only. In 1980s, 1990s, Jharkhand was part of Bihar only. So in all these regions, there was a spread of this Naxalism. So this started to grow. And then within 10 years, in 2004, okay, in 2004, what we saw that there was merger of two groups. The People War Group and Maoist Communist Center. Okay. There was merger of two groups, People War Group plus Maoist. There was merger of two groups, Maoist Communist Center. They formed one association. They formed one group, which was simply called as CPI-M. It was called as CPI-M. They started this CPI-M, Communist Party of India, Maoist. Okay. CPI-M, Communist Party of India, Maoist. And this was the this was the biggest, or you can say that the peak of Maoist rebellion in India. In 2006, the Prime Minister of that time, Manmohan Singh, said that Maoism is India's biggest security threat. Okay. So in 2006, this was a major movement when Maoism or Naxalism recognized as largest internal security threat. Internal security threat. This was the time when it was announced formally that Naxalism is the major internal security threat to India. Okay. And then there was this 2010 event. There was this another major tragedy, that was 2010, Dantewara. Okay. In 2010, there was this incident of Dantewara. What we saw that this time the Maoists have crossed all the lines. They killed 76 CRPF personnels. Okay. So 76 CRPF personnels, they were killed at this point. And just within 3 years, there was attack on a senior Congress leader also, Jhiram Ghati attack. Okay. Jhiram Ghati attack in 2013. There was this Jhiram Ghati attack. So this was the time senior Congress leader attacked. And even around 29 people were killed. Around 29 people were killed in 2013. So this was like the epitome of, or the peak of Maoism in India. And what we saw that from this time itself, there was beginning of massive crackdown on Naxalism in India. This was the time when we started seeing that now the security forces were not taking it lightly. Now they started pushing back the Maoism. So what we saw that from this time itself, we see that there is launching of this crackdown. And how this happened? We have the first thing, Operation Green Hunt. There was launching of this Operation Green Hunt in 2009. Operation Green Hunt. This started in 2009. Okay. And what we saw that large scale offensive like CRPF, Cobra Commandos, everyone was put into field. Okay. There was establishment of special forces, especially the Cobra forces. The Cobra forces were established during this time. There was even this unified command. There was another major thing which was done, which is unified command. Now, the Naxals, what they were doing, they were playing with the state politics. They were playing with the state politics. Like suppose if the police is cracking down on them in Odisha, they used to move towards Chhattisgarh. Or if there is crackdown in Chhattisgarh, they used to move towards Andhra Pradesh. So now there was establishment of unified command, that for Naxalism, now it will not be the state borders. Now the CRPF personnel, the Cobra Commandos, they were made the charge. And it was said that now it doesn't matter wherever you go. If you go anywhere in India, it doesn't matter which state, which border, anywhere. If you are a Naxal, you have the option, you can surrender your arms, you can get in mainstream. But you will still, if you are carrying the armed rebellion against the government of India or against the country, then you will be killed. So this was one part, like various initiatives were used. Later on we saw that use of drones, surveillance camera, then even satellite. All these things were used for tracking down the Naxals and then killing them. There was even development of local forces. Local forces. Like the tribal people, they were also inducted as local forces in order to curtail the Naxals in these regions. So these various steps were taken from the security point of view. Now on the other front, there was also development initiative. What we see that there was also this development initiative. What has been done? There have been road connectivity projects, like there is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sarak Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sarak Yojana. So then road started reaching to the villages. Road started reaching to the villages. There was expansion of mobile and internet. Mobile internet expansion. Mobile internet expansion. Then what we saw that there was also various schemes which were launched. Roshni scheme, Eklavya scheme, Roshni scheme, which was targeted for skill development. There was also Eklavya schools, Eklavya residential schools. So they were all developed for the tribal people. And now we are getting education also. There was even MG Narega. There was also this MG Narega. MG Narega. It is said that this MG Narega is one of the most transformative schemes, especially for the urban people. Yeah. Then there was also this Forest Right Act. There is also this Forest Right Act of 2006. So it has given various right to the tribal people. It has given this various right to the tribal people. Now, all of this has resulted into something positive. What we have seen that there is 75% decline in Naxal violence as per Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay. So what we see that impact, if we see the impact, 75% decline in Naxal violence. There is 75% decline in Naxal violence. There was a time when around more than 200 districts of India, they were suffering from Naxalism. Around 223 districts were suffering from Naxalism in 2010. Now less than 50 districts, to be more precise, less than 30 districts, or even now we can say around less than 50 districts are suffering from Naxalism now. Okay. So now in 2024, less than 50 districts impacted from Naxalism. Impacted from Naxalism. In 2010, it was 223 districts. As per the official figures, that 223 districts were there, which were focused on this, which were impacted due to this, like Naxalism. Yeah. Now, there is one more thing. Now, government is not simply focusing on counter-insurgency. Government has shifted its position. Earlier, the focus was, if we look at the focus shift, earlier it was counter-insurgency. Now, this has been replaced by long-term development. So when you focus on counter-insurgency, if you are killing 5 people, 5 more will come, 50 more will come. But when you address the root cause of this, the root cause was lack of development. So when you address that, you kill the main thing, you kill the main reason for adoption of Naxalism by the people of the country. Okay. Naxalism are not someone, or Naxal people are not someone who have come from outside. They were part and parcel of our society. They were part and parcel of our country. But due to one reason or other, due to many of them have been like they got the bad influence. They were not getting the fruits of development. Some of them were also like influenced by the Maoist activities or other activities. Yeah. But anyhow, now majority of them are returning back to the mainstream. They are becoming part and parcel of the society. Yeah. So that is one part about Naxalism in India. I hope it is clear. See, there is a difference. There is one difference. Army is not going within the country. There is not one. There is one major difference. Army is not engaged with Naxal people. CRPF is engaged with, or CRPF or BSF. They are engaged with the Naxal people. Means they are engaging with the Naxal or Naxalite movements, because army is there to defend the country from outside forces. The CRPF personnels or BSF personnels or others, or SSB and all, they are responsible for internal security within the country. Okay. So army is not getting involved. Remember one part, army is not coming there. Okay. Army have strictly said, we are at the borders. We will not come within the country. There was a time in 2010 to 15 when it was said that there should be deployment of army for this Naxal problem. So then it was said that no, army will not come. If you have the problem within the country, solve it with the internal forces, not with the army. Now, why they are attacking? Of course, like many of them, if you look at this Naxalism part, there are some people who are joining the Naxal movement because they didn't get the fruits of development. There are some other greedy people who are joining the Naxal movement because they want to get the benefit of the resources in that area. They are selling various important minerals and all in that area. Okay. So there are multiple regions and they want to safeguard their like entire thing. You'll find that many of the people who are leaders of these Naxals or others, they are not the followers of communism. Their children, their all other things, they are following the capitalism in their life, but are motivating others to follow Maoism or communism. There are multiple reasons behind this. Okay. So this is one part. This is the first topic, Naxalism. Now coming to the second topic, multilateralism. So multilateralism is under threat. Multilateralism is under threat now. What we see that, what are the emerging challenges? What are the emerging challenges? We have discussed this topic in past also. First, we have seen US actions. First, if we look at this US actions, what we see? Withdrawal from global institutions. Withdrawal from global institutions. Then backing or living global treaties. Global treaties like Paris Treaty. Okay. So this is one part. We see that now the United States, one of the major player in the world right now, they are withdrawing from the global politics. They have started focusing on one thing which we call as America first. They have started focusing on this part which is called as America first. So now it's for them, it is all about like we want everything for America right now. They have this imagination. They have this imagination that they have given everything to the world, and now it's time that they start focusing on their own country. We have seen in the past also that US is not giving anything to the world. When US is giving any aid or any such thing to any country of the world, it is also exploiting the natural resources of that country. It is also exploiting the natural resources of that country. So right now what we see that this America first policy, it is a major challenge for, this is a major challenge for globalization and multilateralism. This is a major challenge for globalization and multilateralism. At the same time, it is also escalating global conflicts. It is also escalating global conflicts and ignoring rule-based order. Ignoring rules-based order. So while they have been promoting to the world, that we want globalization, we want everything and all. So after reaping the benefits of globalization, now they are telling the people that no, this is not good. This is not good for US. So that is one of the major challenge. Now, what we see that one of the major challenges for another challenge is with respect to immigration. Okay. Another challenge is with respect to immigration. And this is common for Europe. This is common for Europe plus US. Okay. Now, for Europe, there is this one simple thing. Europe has colonized half of the world, and now they are complaining about the immigrants. They have occupied half of the world, and now they are complaining about the immigrants. For the last 300 years, the entire world was complaining about the Europe. Okay. Now, United States is there in almost all the countries of Africa, all the smaller islands of Indian Ocean, or even the Pacific Ocean. And they are saying why the climate refugees are coming to the United States or Europe. Okay. So what we see that another challenge is also for climate refugees. Climate refugees. Now, if you look at them, they have been evicted out of their house due to the pollution created by Europe and US. They have been evicted out of their house due to the pollution created by Europe and US. And now when they are going to Europe and US, they say that no, you are not welcome here. So this is one of the major challenge to multilateralism right now. Okay. But this is also an opportunity. Okay. Opportunity for regional organization. This is also opportunity for regional organization like BRICS. Okay. This is also opportunity for Europe to become fair again. Europe to become fair, not again. Europe has never been fair. So Europe to become fair. Once now they can become fair again. No, not again. They can become fair for the first time. Okay. Then it also presents an opportunity for India and China. To lead the global order. This is a very important opportunity. Like it is said that history are made during these times. So this is the time when you can either make history or you can remain in the same platform as you are today. Okay. So this is the time, if India and China works together, if they settle their difference, if they start working together, this is the time when the century can be of Asia in true sense. Even now, Asia, if you look at the Asian countries, like when we talk about India or China, they are still leading countries of the world. But this is the time when the global institutions can shift eastward. Okay. So this is also an opportunity for shift of global institutions eastward. So this is the opportunity also. While there is a challenge to the multilateralism, this also presents an opportunity. See, remember this one part. Remember this one part. When Europe was fighting this world war, US utilized this opportunity. When Europe was busy with the world war, US has utilized this opportunity to emerge as the most powerful nation of the world. And right now, this opportunity is with India and China. That when US and Europe, they have no clear idea what they are going to do in the next 5 years or 10 years. This is the time. These next 5 years, 2025 to 2030, this is the time when the Asian countries can lead the world. Okay. So that is the second article about multilateralism in India. I hope that is clear. अनिल शेषमा अबाउट यस CAPF पेपर 2 बैच में पेपर 1 के रिकॉर्डेड क्लासेस ऐड हो गई क्या? अगर नहीं हुई है तो ऐड हो जाएगी. आई हैव टॉक टू द टीम अबाउट इट, सो दे हैव सेड दैट दे विल ऐड इट एज सून एज पॉसिबल. ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू द थर्ड टॉपिक, tuberculosis and women in India. The third topic is about tuberculosis and women in India. So now this article is talking about this, like how the things are there for women in India, those who are suffering from tuberculosis. But before we go into that, let us see some tuberculosis related facts in India. Okay. Some facts. Like what is the extent of tuberculosis in India? If we look about this, around 3,31,000 deaths in 2022 was due to tuberculosis in India. Okay. So 2022, 3,31,000 deaths in India. So from here you can understand what is the gravity of this disease. Okay. That how much like impactful this tuberculosis is. Around 23 per lakh population is affected due to tuberculosis. Around 123 deaths per lakh population means they are facing the death due to tuberculosis. India has got 27% of world's TB cases. 27% of world tuberculosis cases in India. Means almost one quarter, more than one quarter of the tuberculosis cases are there in India. There is another challenge. Around 2% of the tuberculosis cases now are drug resistant TB. Okay. So 2% TB cases, they are drug resistant. Means medicines are not working for them. Medicines are not working for them. They have got this XDR TB, extensive drug resistant, or MDR TB, the multiple drug resistance tuberculosis. So they have got either the MDR TB or XDR TB. So medicines are not working for them. Now that is a general fact with respect to tuberculosis in India. Now let us talk about women in India. Okay. So if we talk about Indian women, and here when we are talking about Indian women, we are mostly talking about the middle-aged women in India. We are mostly talking about the middle-aged women in India. Now what we see that, what is the challenge there? Although women in India are like superwomen, the Indian women are like superwomen, they are taking care of each and everything. But there are certain challenges. There are certain challenges. Although Indian women is superwoman, but what we see that there is first challenge, there is underdiagnosis. There is underdiagnosis of TB. Means tuberculosis among women is not getting diagnosed. Why? Even if they are suffering from tuberculosis, they are not easily going to the doctor. Why? In India, everyone is a doctor. If they are having any such problem, if they are having continuous coughing or anything, they think that it is seasonal change and hence we don't need to go to the doctor. Many a times, until unless the disease becomes too much disease is too much spread inside the body or becomes very much difficult to manage, then only they go to the hospitals or checkup centers. So what is the problem? Women do not prioritize their health. So they are worried about everyone. They are worried about every family member, but they are not worried about their health. There is another important part. Tuberculosis is also associated with social stigma. Tuberculosis in India is seen as a stigma in many communities, especially for women. Okay. So there is a fear of discrimination. There is a fear of discrimination. What we see that there is a fear of discrimination. There is a fear of discrimination. It has also been seen that in poor families, if a woman is suffering from tuberculosis, they are abandoned by their family members. Okay. So many a times, women are abandoned by family due to tuberculosis. So that is also one of the major challenge. Okay. Third challenge is post-treatment. Now, what is the this challenge? What we see that after the treatment of tuberculosis, there is skin discoloration. And side effect. Okay. So this also leads to social rejection. So we see that there is also a skin discoloration, and this leads to social rejection. Like, think about this. In India, we are often offended if any European or if anyone from United States or from any other country are discriminating against us on the basis of color. Obviously, they are all white people and we are all brown people. If you are in India, you are generally a brown people. Okay. So we are getting offended if the Europeans are discriminating against us. But within our country, we have so much of discrimination on the basis of color of the skin. So think about this. We are offended by discrimination when it is done by European. But within our country, we are doing this discrimination at a very large scale. They are like having at least some filters when they are saying something. In India, people don't even use the filters when they are saying something against even if they are saying something racial, they are not using any filter. They say it outrightly, bluntly in the face of the person. Okay. So that is the level of racism in India. We generally say that there is no racism. But in fact, racism prevails at a very large scale in India. And think about this. What is the irony? That we get offended if the Europeans do it. But then within our country, we are doing it with our own people. And this is the problem, like this is a health issue. And if there is a skin discoloration, then people are doing this social rejection on the basis of that. So that represents the narrow mentality of the society. That also represents this narrow mentality of the society. So this is one part. Now, what are the steps by government? Like what steps has been taken by government for tuberculosis? We have this National TB Elimination Program. Okay. We have this National TB Elimination Program. Okay. So we have this strategy, okay, that the aim was to end tuberculosis by 2025. The aim here was to end tuberculosis. To end tuberculosis by 2025. And what we have seen in 2022 itself, there were deaths of 3,31,000 people in India due to tuberculosis. So this mission has not worked. This mission has not worked. Okay. Then there is also this Nikshay Poshan Yojana. We have also this Nikshay Poshan Yojana. Under this, what we see that 500 rupees per month is given for nutrition support. Okay, rupees 500 for nutrition support. So that is also one thing which is provided. Then we have also this Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. Bharat Abhiyan. What we see here, that it aims to provide community support. It aims to provide this community support for those people who are facing this tuberculosis. Okay. So that is also one thing which is being done under this TB program in India. Okay. But despite this, what we have seen that for tuberculosis, we have not been successful. The plan was to end the tuberculosis by 2025. But the challenge is we have not been able to do this. Now, coming to the next article, we have this one thing called as denotified tribes. Can you tell me who are denotified tribes? Who are denotified tribes? Who are the denotified tribes in India? Any idea about this? The denotified tribes? See, during the British time, what we have seen that, like, during the British time, what the Britishers did, the Britishers, what they have done is, they have notified certain group of people as criminal tribes. They have notified certain group of people as criminal tribes. Okay. But throughout the British rule, they were declared as this criminal tribes, that they are criminal tribes of India. And after this, like independence, this was the Act of 1871. Okay, there was this Act of Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. There was this Criminal Tribes Act 1871. So through that, they have notified certain groups of people as criminal tribes. Okay. And like around 200 communities across India, around 200 communities across India, they were declared as criminal tribes or criminal communities. So think about this. In their own country, okay, so sorry that I think due to some issue the class got disconnected, but now we are back here. So these were the Britishers notified certain group of people as criminal tribes. Now what happened that after we got this independence, so in 1952, this Criminal Tribes Act, what we saw that Criminal Tribes Act, this was repealed. This was repealed, and these communities, they were denotified. They were denotified. They were this denotified. So from there, this is the origin of the term that we have some denotified tribal groups in India. So denotified tribal groups are those which were denotified by the government in 1952 when this Criminal Tribes Act was repealed by the government of India post independence. Okay. So this is the last topic. This is the last topic. So due to some internet issue, it has got disconnected. Okay. So then that will be all for today. Okay. That will be all for today. And in the next session, we are going to meet on Monday. Tomorrow is Saturday, so on Saturday we don't have the session. So now you have this one work, revise all these topics and tell me about this one part, that how many topics we have covered in this week. How many topics we have covered in this week. And then on Monday, when we will have this session, we will have more than 3 questions. We will have around 7-8 questions, quick questions for practice, on the basis of this news articles of the last 1 week. Okay. So I will also add more questions on the basis of these topics which we have studied, and at the same time you also have to make an index of this. If you continue to make an index, and even if you recall 50 or 60 topics out of 1 month, you will not have to prepare again for the current affairs during the prelims exam. So do this part and your work will be done. I hope that is clear to everyone. Okay. Is the squad having any relations with quad group? Not direct relation, but you can see that some of the countries which are there, like Japan is there, Australia is there, US is there. So these 3 countries which are part of quad, they are also part of a squad. Okay. The squad is not a formal group, that is an informal group. Now from the last 1 year, they are having this maritime exercise in South China Sea, and recently they have invited India to join this initiative. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Okay, so thank you so much everyone. Just do this one task, give me the index of the topics which we have discussed in this week. That will be all for today. Enjoy the weekends, revise all the topics. We will meet on Monday. Thank you, take care, good night.